Well, hello there. And today with me, I have Kristen, a current client of mine in our Beat the Scale program, which is basically all about reframing your brain so that way you can get results without having to change your diet. So I'm going to ask Kristen a couple of questions about what she has seen with her diet, and we're going to go from there. Hey, Kristen, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. It's a fabulous day. If you're cool with it, I'm just going to jump in with the questions.
All right, go ahead.
Awesome. So my first question is, what was life like before we started working together?
It was very stressful. I was sad all the time, and I was just stuck. I had lost 100 pounds from last July until mid June of this year, and then I was just stuck. I couldn't get past that 100 pounds, knowing that I still needed another 20 to lose, and I couldn't do it. I was fighting myself all the time. If I would have a bad day, I would just be stuck on eating food that I knew wasn't good for my body. And then it would just send me in a back turn, and I would just overeat that day and just be like, oh, well, it is what it is. You've lost the 100 pounds, you're good. But then that would just make me sad and upset with myself. So it wasn't pretty at that time before I had met you.
Yeah, sounds like a kind of a vicious cycle of
Yes.
this because I'm more sad about what I'm doing, even though you did a very good accomplishment, losing 100 pounds on your own. So that's awesome. But that last little bit is really what got you.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It got me stuck, and I couldn't get past that 100, and there was just nothing I could do. Even if I tweaked my diet a little bit, if I worked out more, I couldn't get past that 100 mark.
Yeah, yeah. So would you say that was the only problem you were having before we started to work together, or was there anything else you were trying to do?
Definitely the emotional eating. I couldn't figure out why or what would trigger me just to go to the foods. Like I had stopped eating a lot of carbs, like the breads and the pastas. Like I would overeat that, and then I would just have a bad day and I would turn to it, or I would turn to those cookies or the ice cream, and I couldn't stop. If I had a small bowl of ice cream, I was going back to the fridge later on that day for that more of the ice cream. I couldn't get past, okay, you had a little bit, you're working this food back in. I couldn't stop myself. I was just going for it, and that was it.
Yeah, no. Okay, so it sounds like a lot of stuff that was going on in your head,
Yes.
kind of screwing with the outward appearance. Yeah, for sure. So when you were going through, you were, kind of like, okay, I have problems. What stood out to you about working with me, the other options that you had?
That first brain call we had after I had watched some of your videos on the Facebook group, the first brain call, you actually listened to what I had to say, and you were very positive, and you gave me a plan that um, would help me. So I like to vacation a lot, and that's where I got myself stuck. Is I went on 3 vacations over the summer. So I went to the gym still, but I wasn't working out like I was at home. And then I would eat all that food on vacation and just feel awful when I came home. So when we had that first brain call, you were like, okay, when we work together, we're going to talk about what you can do on vacation, and then you were very persistent. You weren't like very pushy, but if I didn't get back to you, you'd be like, hey, I just want to check in to see how things are going and stuff. And every time you contacted me, you always had a positive personality, and you just definitely seemed open and willing to help me, not that you were there for the money. And that's what stood out, was that you really listened to what I had to say.
Yeah, of course, definitely. I mean, that's the most important thing. You have to be heard, right? If
Yes.
not, then you're following somebody else's plan, and that's why we fail. So
Exactly. And that's where part of the problem was, is I was following all these other people that I had seen on different Facebook groups, but you were like, nope, that's not going to work for you.
I love it. So it sounds like that's what really sold you on the joining of the program.
Yes.
Yeah, I love it. So over the course of time that we've worked together so far, what has made you the happiest?
I have broken my plateau. I've lost another 8 pounds since then. So I'm back in the 160s. I've never worn anything below a size 9. And yesterday I got into a size 7 pants, and I no longer let the scale control me. I only get on it once a month. I no longer care what that number is because I feel the best I have felt in a long, long time. I am no longer mentally blocked. I am happy. I'm living the best life in my classroom with my students. We dance every day and just have so much fun, and I have energy to do it with them. I'm not slugging around. So there's a lot of things that have made me very happy.
Yeah, it sounds like it. It sounds like it. So it sounds like since we've worked together, you've been able to achieve, lowering size, getting to a size you've never even worn before, losing some weight, getting energy, having fun, best year of your life.
Yes.
Right.
Well,
I love it.
my head.
Get it out of your head. Right. That's the most important thing right there.
Yes.
Get out of your head. Yeah.
Yes.
So with all those, anything really exceed your expectations of what you expected to get from it?
I did not expect to go into the core wound like we did. Once we started talking about that, and I really stepped back and thought about why I was constantly going for the ice cream or the chocolate, I realized it was things that had happened at a younger age. And it was just that anytime something bad happened, my family would be like, okay, like it was never a face to face comfort. It was always a food comfort. So then when we talked about that, it really made me step back. So now when I'm having a bad day, I step back and think to myself, do I really need that, or can I go and do something else? And usually that's when I do yoga or something else just to free my mind and not think about the food, which is what I needed when I was younger.
Yeah, I love it. That's great. That's great awareness too for you to realize that about yourself. So that's a great win also to know that. So I love it. So I'm sure everybody's curious, as they learn about the investments of working with me. What would you say to somebody that's on the fence of joining me due to the investment?
Do it. Absolutely do it. No matter how you can get the money, I had to go and ask a couple friends for some investments. I had to rearrange my money and just kind of take a step back from a vacation because I knew this was going to end up getting me a better life, a healthier life, so I can enjoy my vacations next year when I decide to take them. Do it. You will not regret it at all. It is the best thing I have done for myself.
I love you. I agree. I mean, your results stand for themselves for sure. So awesome. Well, I am so thankful that I've gotten to work with you as a client and that we get to continue working together for a little
Yeah.
while longer, and that you have these massive results to share with the world. And just by looking at your face, I can tell that it's been your end. So I thank you for taking the time for this. And if anybody's watching this and you're not in the group, Weight Loss and Wellbeing for High Performers, please feel free to get yourself there. And you can always ask myself or Kristen questions directly. She will answer anything you pretty much have to ask. And I am also here for you as well. So thanks for tuning in to this. If you liked it, drop a heart or drop a like. We would always love those as well. So hope you guys are having a good one.